President Obama was among a parade of politicians in Dorchester today, as was Joe Biden. Speaking at the formal dedication of the Edward M. Kennedy Institute for the United States Senate, the Interactive Museum hopes to educate the public about what goes on in the Senate. It includes a life-size replica of the Senate chamber, where visitors can actually vote as if they were a senator. In fact, I'd take them over many of the current 100 members. It opens to the public tomorrow on Columbia Point, right next door to the Presidential Library, named after his brother. This, of course, is at a time when 75% of the public disapproves of the job Congress does. I know what's wrong with the rest of the population. Today, some of Kennedy's colleagues look back on his more than 4 decades in the Senate and how perfectly this new institute reflects his life's work.
He moved us forward by bringing us together. That's the people power of democracy this institute will nurture right here in Boston. Senator Kennedy loved this city. The places were special to him, and the people were special to him.
He changed my life, and he changed what I understood about public service, what it means to fight for working people just because it's the right thing to do. This institute will give millions of people an opportunity to be inspired. That is the perfect way to honor the memory of Ted Kennedy.
He was the best ally, persistent, patient, passionate, thorough, tireless, always true to his word, and just excellent company in all the battles, small and large, that you fought along the way. I miss fighting with him, to be honest. It's gotten harder to find people who enjoy a good fight as much as Ted did.
All politics is personal. And no one in my life understood that better than Ted Kennedy. He was the anchor of our personal lives, and he was an anchor for the Senate as an institution. Let this place serve as a true compass, pointing toward his unyielding faith in the limitless possibilities of the American people and this country.
As far as Teddy was concerned, if we all did our part, there was nothing we couldn't accomplish. We are Americans, he said. This is what we do. We reach the moon. We scale the heights. I know it. I've seen it. I've lived it. And we can do it again.
What more fitting tribute? What better testament to the life of Ted Kennedy than this place that he left for a new generation of Americans? A monument not to himself, but to what we, the people, have the power to do together. May we all, in our own lives, set an example for the kids who enter these doors and exit with higher expectations for their country. May we all remember the times this American family has challenged us to ask what we can do, to dream and say, why not, to seek a cause that endures and sail against the wind in its pursuit and live our lives with that heightened sense of purpose.
A heightened sense of purpose, indeed. I first met Ted Kennedy more than 30 years ago. I was a young legal services lawyer who had organized the union of lawyers, paralegals, and secretaries across the country to counter Ronald Reagan's plan to abolish legal services for the poor. Dozens of us went to D.C. to lobby Congress, and the day came when we were to meet the senator. We all like to hear ourselves talk, a lot. But when Kennedy entered the room, we went silent. He was warm, focused, funny. His voice filled the room as he detailed a strategy to save the program, which we all thought was bold but totally unrealistic. But none of us big talkers had the courage to mention our skepticism. It was predicated on forming alliances with very conservative Republicans who loved Reagan and weren't crazy about poor people. But our doubts evaporated the next day when we returned to see the man who retired almost 30 years later as possibly the most accomplished legislator in American history. Kennedy was strolling down the Senate corridor, arm in arm with a Southern colleague who we weren't even lobbying because we thought it a waste of time. Kennedy convinced that man and others that there was no more conservative principle than access to justice for the nation's poor. And while the program was bruised, it survived. When Reagan left office, he listed his disappointments, and failure to defund legal service for the nation's poor made the list. It made it because Ted Kennedy was not just a man of great principle, but one who valued bipartisanship in ways that today's members of Congress in both parties could never understand. So what do you think of Kennedy's legacy? And what do you think of the current Senate? Want to hear your thoughts? Find us online, email us, tweet us. All of our addresses are up on your screen.